Hi friends, Krista here. Thanks for stopping by Books and Jams. I am so excited for today's video. I have been waiting for this moment ever since I did my January TBR video because I just love my new TBR game for 2024, which is called Flip and Roll. And it's a way to help me get through a lot of my goals that I have for my reading this year and to mainly read books off of my shelves. So here we are today to talk about my February TBR. I will wrap up my January in my wrap up. So the books that I chose in my TBR for January, I will include or not include in my wrap up. I'll let you know how I did with those. Eventually, I might get to the point where I am including them in my February TBR, but since I filmed this before the end of the month, I think including it in my wrap up will work a little bit better for me. We'll just see how it goes. I'm still figuring it all out. But here's the graphic for my game. I will link down below a Google Doc where if you're interested in using this same type of way to choose your TBR, you can go ahead and use the Google Doc. I've also put one in there that's blank, so you can put your own categories in for the different numbers. So the first step in my TBR is flipping a coin. And if I choose heads, then I get to pick from a jar of prompts. And if it lands on tails, then I have to use spinner wheels. I'm kind of hoping for prompts this time. This gives me a little bit more choice. It narrows down my choices because of the prompt, but it gives me still a little bit of freedom, whereas spinner wheels pick my TBR for me. So we'll see what I get this time. Last time it was spinner wheels. Is it going to be the same? I don't know, but I got the coin here. I have a quarter. Let's see what it's going to be. Woo. Oh, it is heads, which is prompts. I'm so excited. I'm still going to roll a die 5 times. For each category, I'm going to pick a prompt and find a book that matches the prompt from that category. So I am not fancy. I have a little puzzle sorter tray here and my die that has 6 sides. If I get a 1, it's NetGalley. 2, book of the month. 3 is book exchange, Christmas book exchange book. 4 is off of my recommendations cart that you guys picked for me. Number 5 would be from a series that I'm in the middle of. And then 6 is 5-star predictions or free choice. We'll see what I get. Here we go. Starting off with 5. So the first roll is a 5. That's series. So I'm going to go ahead and pick a prompt and I'm going to try to find a series, a book in a series that I'm in the middle of. And there are a lot of them that will match this prompt. Remember last month I broke my jar? That was perfect. This one's a little harder because the opening of it is a little more narrow, but my fingers can just reach in and pick one still. So I've got a prompt. Ooh, I had 2. Now I have just 1. Let's see what it says. On my TBR for 2 or more years. All of these prompts were chosen for me by my patrons. I did not add anything else in. So if my patrons said it, I added it. If not, it's not in the jar. So this one, on my TBR for 2 or more years. I love that. Okay, I have a few choices here. 3 of them, however, are middle grade. I have Gregor, the Prophecy of Bane. This is book 2 in Gregor the Overlander series. I've had this series on my shelves for quite a while. Ashes is the second book in the trilogy by Laurie Halse Anderson. The first one was Chains. This is kind of historical fiction trilogy set around Revolutionary War time. And then the Wingfeather Saga is more of a fantasy. This is North Orby Eaton. My problem is that I know in March I'm going to be reading a ton of middle grade, and I don't know if I want to load my TBR with middle grade in February. So the one I'm going to end up with is The Storm Sister by Lucinda Riley. This is book 2 in the Seven Sisters series. I started book 1 2 years ago. I read The Seven Sisters and really loved it and haven't gone back to it since. So I would like to make more progress in the series. And actually this is on my recommendations card as well. 2 birds, 1 stone. I think the cover is stunning. I really loved the first one. I might need to go and read kind of a spoilery summary of the first one because I'm not going to reread The Seven Sisters. I'm going to just start in with The Storm Sister. I think they're more kind of companion novels anyway, but each one follows a different sister in this family. So that's going to be my first book on the pile. I did forget to say that I do have a few books that are already planned for February, and I'm going to see if I can make them fit somehow. If not, I'll tell you about those at the end. But let's go ahead and do our second roll. I am doing 5 rolls. So let's go ahead and do our second roll. I will get the hang of these TBR videos eventually. Okay, 1. So 1 is NetGalley. And so I'm going to pick a prompt and then find a NetGalley book that will match it. I'm going to try to get down to the bottom. Close enough. All sticking together. Okay, I've got one. Let's see. This says, oh, a cover without people on it. A cover without people on it. I have a stack of NetGalley books that I own. So I'm going to go look at those ones first and try to read from my shelves and see if I can find one that's a cover without people on it. I did find 3 that don't have people. It's harder than I thought. So I have The Night We Burned, which I thought that was a person at first, but it's just a piece of ash. This is by SF Kosa, and it's about a woman who escaped from a cult and then years later becomes a journalist and has to write about that cult, I believe. So I've been going down little black holes on Netflix and Hulu watching cult docuseries, and this might be kind of fun to kind of feed into that obsession that I have right now. Then we have Marvelous by Molly Greeley. I really would like to read this author. I have at least 3 books of hers on my shelves. Haven't read her yet. This is kind of a potential origin story of Beauty and the Beast. So it's kind of historical, kind of a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Yeah, I'm very interested in that. And there's no people on that cover. So possibility. And then The Whalebone Theater is historical fiction. Joanna Quinn, World War II, 2 kids on the beach find a whale skeleton, and they turn it into a theater when they're kids, and then they become spies in the war. I'm very interested in all 3 of these, but I think the cult one is the one that's calling to me right now, The Night We Burned. So I'm going to add this one to my February stack. All right, let's do roll number 3. Is a 5 again. So we're working on a series again. So let's pick another prompt. I like making series progress. Okay, we've got one here. Oh, my little buddy picks a book. I will see him later today. So I guess I'll just pick a couple series books that I have on my shelves. I'll put them out in front of him and ask him which one he thinks I should read. So I can film that later today and then add it to this video. So we won't know right now, but let me see which ones I'm going to give him. Okay, this potentially could work in my favor. I chose 3 mystery series that I'm reading. So I chose the second book in the Thursday Murder Club, The Man Who Died Twice by Richard Osman. I would really love to continue with this series. This one is a possibility because my little buddy loves foxes and they have like a family thing about foxes for him. So potentially he'll pick this because it has a fox on it and it's blue and it's kind of graphic. I don't know. He may choose this one. My Patreon book club book for the month of February is The Unexpected Mrs. Polifax, which is the start of a series. This is by Dorothy Gilman. This is kind of a fun cover. It has a donkey on here. The circles, I don't know if he'll pick this one, but I'll put it as an option because I think that would be great if he picked that one. And then the third one I'll pick is A Great Reckoning because this is the next book in the Armand Gamache mystery series by Louise Penny that I need to read. So I will give him these 3 choices and we will see what he picks. I'll insert that clip now. Go ahead and open up the bag and take a look at the books that are in there, and you got to pick which one you think I should read.
This one?
No, the big part. Here, this one right here. The one on the top.
This one?
Yep. Pull that one down. There's 3 books in there. You can look and see which one you think I should read. Pull them all the way out first. Okay, that's a big one. Okay, come line them up over here so that you can see them all together. Okay. Oh, they're upside down. Can you turn them around the other way so you can see them? Okay. Yep, here. 1, 2, 3. All right, what do you notice on them and which one do you think I should read? Apparently this requires binoculars. Okay. That one?
Yeah.
Why did you pick this one?
Because it's big.
Because it's big? You wanted me to read the biggest one?
Yeah.
Do you know what's on there?
A coyote.
Is it a coyote?
A fox.
And it has a fox. You picked the one that has a fox. All right. Thank you for picking a book.
You're welcome.
Okay. On to roll number 4. A 4, which is my recommendations card. So let's pull a prompt and see what kind of book I might get to read this month. All right, let's see. Oh, that's 2. All right, the prompt says, non-war historical fiction. So not a World War I or World War II historical fiction. That should be doable. I mean, I have a ton. I have a ton of historical fiction. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can find something on the smaller side because I feel like some of the ones I have are kind of longer. Let's see. I have The Lions of Fifth Avenue. That takes place 1913, about the New York Public Library. Talking about women's rights. And then also 1993. So this is a very strong contender. I would love to read Khaled Hosseini and The Mountains Echo. This is the only book of his that I haven't yet read. Let me see. This is a little bit, they're both on the shorter side, I guess. Let me look over here. There's so many on here, honestly. Okay, my third choice is going to be this, Surviving Savannah by Patty Callahan. 1838, and a ship goes down. Savannah history professor Emily Winthrop is asked to curate a museum collection focused on the newly discovered artifacts salvaged from the steamship Pulaski, known as the Titanic of the South. Devastating night of the ship's sinking in 1838. So this is a ship sinking story. We've got a New York Public Library book, and then Afghanistan in 1952. What do I have already? I think I'm kind of interested in this one, the ship sinking, and I would really love to read more from this author. So I'm going to go ahead and use Surviving Savannah for this prompt. Yeah, I think this is the one that's calling to me the most. So here's my non-World War II historical fiction. So far, so good. And I have one roll left to go. So let us go ahead and roll for the last time. And I got a 6. 5-star prediction or free choice. Okay, so I only have 2 options. I'm not sure if either one will be able to fit the prompt. What's it gonna be? Oh, they're all stuck together. All right, I got one. Let's see. It says, flowers on the cover. Maybe that'll work. Let me see. Neither one has flowers on the cover. View Across the Rooftops or The Amulet. Neither one. These are both Christmas book exchange books that have high ratings. Nowhere, not even remotely. Okay, flowers on the cover. It does say or free choice. So I could just pick another book. I could choose another prompt, but it's going to be hard to find a prompt that matches when I only have 2 options. I could just pick another Christmas book exchange book that I think I'm going to love. That's an option. Okay, so what I'm going to do, neither of the other 2 books that are already on my TBR have flowers, but what I still need to do is choose one of my 12 books to read in 2024, and a bunch of those have flowers on the cover. So what I did was I used this little bag that I got from one of my Advent boxes, and it had these scrapbook papers inside. There were 12 of them, which is perfect. So let's go ahead and see which one I'm going to add to my TBR this month. Okay. Oh, I got 2. Here we go. Green polka dots. Poison Study. Are there flowers on that one? Oh yeah, I see it already. I see flowers on the spine even. A little bit of flowers right here. So this works for the prompt. And then I'm going to add, since I would have been picking one of those anyway, I'm just going to add one of these 5-star predictions to the pile. So I'm going to do the amulet. This will fulfill my 5th roll. This fulfills the prompt and my 12 books to read in 2024. I'm making it work because my TBR, my reading life, It is what it is. So I have 2 other books that I'm going to be reading in February. My patron pick for the month is African Town by Irene Latham and Charles Waters. I will be listening to this on audio. It's a book in verse, written in verse. I just realized I haven't said what any of these are about. So I'll go through them real quick. African Town. Well, I'll go through at the end. This one is my patron pick for the month. And then I do have the Screw Tape Letters by C.S. Lewis, which is going to be my group read along. You are welcome to join me for the month of February. I will have 2 lives for this that I will be putting in a community post. I need to reach out to the people who have said that they'd be interested in joining me on the live and decide on what days and times will work best. In the past, I have done Sunday afternoons. That's not going to work for me for the next 13 weeks because I'm going to be participating in a small group. So I need to choose a different time. I'm going to reach out to some people and I will let you know in a community post very soon. But go ahead and get your hands on the Screw Tape Letters if you're planning on joining in, because even if you can't join in the live, you can watch it after because it will be up on my channel. Let me go through all of them real quick and give a short description. So we have the whole stack here. I guess I've said what some of them are. Screw Tape Letters, Christian book, epistolary novel between 2 demons. Should be an interesting read. African Town, set in 1859. This is about the last ship of slaves that came, I believe, to America. Should be a pretty harrowing, impactful read. Poison Study is a bit of fantasy, I believe. This one's about a woman named Yelena who is soon to be executed for murder, but she gets an opportunity to become a taste tester for the commander of their world, Ixia. The Amulet is a historical fiction. And I actually don't know anything about this. There's no description. Huh. But it does have a very high rating. It was a Christmas book exchange book. So, yay. I did say Surviving Savannah is about a ship that went down called the Titanic of the South in 1838. The Night We Burned is a book about a woman who escaped from a cult. And then The Storm Sister is part of a series. We're going to follow a woman named Allie who is a yacht racer, I believe, a boat racer. She's on a boat when she learns about her father's death and she races home to go try to figure stuff out. But there's tragedy strikes on the high seas. So we have that one. Those are the definites. And then I also have these options for my little dude to pick between one of these mysteries. And I mean, I will be reading The Unexpected Mrs. Pollifax because it's my patron book club book of the month. So hopefully he picks that one. I will try to not influence. But that looks like a great month of reading for me. I'm very excited. It's a lot of backlist. Hopefully I'll be able to catch some of them on audio. I would love to hear your thoughts if you've read any of these. Sorry if this was a little chaotic still. I will continue working on streamlining these TBRs, but I just am really excited. I'm really glad that this month we got to use the prompts since last month I did the spinner wheels. It'll be really nice if it alternates for me. I'm very excited about my stack of books. And that is it for me today. Let's chat down in the comments. What do you think about this video? What do you think about my TBR game? What do you think about the books that I'm choosing to read in the month of February? Let's chat. I love talking with you down there. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to talking with you in another video very soon. Bye.